How you doing, Kenny? Hunter being on Devil's Digest. What were your impressions of the Texas win over Clemson? Probably also watch subsequently after that game too.
Yeah, they're big, they're fast, they're well coached. I mean, there's a reason they're predicted to win the national championship.
Hey, Kenny, Brad doing 3TV CBS Live. So, in light of the David Pavia ruling, has there been any conversation with your guys' JUCO experience about their situations and potential futures?
100%. We've talked through, getting some of the guys back. That ruling is right now just for Diego. It's not for everybody, but usually there's a kind of a slippery slope when something like that happens. So hopefully that our guys get the same benefit that he gets. But that's a tough balance right now. You're managing 85 numbers for a mid-year enrollee count, and you don't know the rules. So that's not easy to manage when the rules change in real time, and you have 2.5 weeks to balance it. So we're hoping we get some of our guys back that want to come back, that can come back. We just don't know who fits the category. It's not just as simple as JUCO. There's more dynamics with that, like clock and 5 years versus 4 years. And there's other dynamics within that we're trying to figure out.
Jordan, Craig, and Michelle.
Hey, Kenny, Jordan Ham, Sports 360 AT. Could you just kind of go through a quick rundown of the guys you've been able to sign through the portal and what you like about each of them?
Yeah, so obviously a wide receiver, we signed 2 guys up to this point. One, a big guy, and the size that he produces is good. His speed, he's 215 pounds. He moves around well. He had a setback when he was at Clemson, but other than that, he's been an awesome person, and a lot of people around him say he's really good. So we watched his high school tape. He's really good. Just hasn't played a lot of Clemson, which is good for us because he fits the culture of our program. We have another guy, Moss, and he's an NFL type caliber player, proven in college. With how many receptions he's had. We have some connections to that program who say similar things. That he's that level of a player, so we're really excited about him. He's versatile. He can play in the slot, play outside, put returner, kick returner at times. So he's versatile there. Running back, obviously, when you get a guy who's averaged over 6 yards a carry, over 1,000 yards in college football, that's a benefit. Really good culture guy, really hard worker, competitive, intelligent, and he's got great contact balance, and he can run through arm tackles for us. Tight end, big size, young, raw, has all the ability in the world. We love we think he's going to be one of the better players in the class from that perspective, just his length and size. And then when he was given the opportunities, he made the best of it. Similar thing, always has a smile on his face, super intelligent, super competitive, fits all that model for us. And obviously, his safety position up to this point, I don't know if I can comment on that yet. I don't know if it's officially gone through.
And then, with Jesus, what stood out with him?
Yeah, he makes a lot of kicks. That stands out. I mean, he's almost basically 80% career field goal kicker, and that's really good. I mean, especially kicking here, and he had that percentage kicking in an area of the country that elements aren't good to kick in. So you would think that he would only become better when you kick in better elements than when you kick in bad elements. And then he's competitive. I love the fact that he's like, I used to play linebacker, right? I didn't. Nor do I really care, but that's nice to know that if something really horrific happened, you're not scared to hit somebody.
Coach Craig Fouie, ABC 15. When you look at Texas defense, obviously 3rd best in the nation in yards allowed, really good at points allowed, 12.5 points a game. And you've got Cam. How do you get established in the running game, or how do you establish your offense, I guess, against a defense like that?
Yeah, you got to move the first line. Like, the first layer of their defense is really big. They're really physical. They defeat blocks well. I just think this is a well-coached team. I mean, they're really talented and they're well-coached. They don't out-scheme themselves. Sometimes when you face teams like this, you can get them into certain pressures and you can get into really, really advantageous looks where you're like, oh, okay, I hope they blitz themselves out of the way, right? This team doesn't do that. They make you beat them. So it's a great challenge for our guys to line up versus a team that's going to line up and say, we're not going to move a lot, we're not going to blitz a lot, move us and beat us. And those are usually the best teams in college football. So I'm excited for that challenge for our guys. But we got to be able to create movement. We got to be able to cover up the first level and make second and third level players tackle us, and hopefully staying positive down in distances.
On the flip side, quickly, just Quinn Ewers, and then they've got a couple of running backs who they can gain some yards too. How do you slow that offense down?
Yeah, obviously you got to stop the run. They're a run, play action, screen team on base downs. So you got to be able to stop the run and make them become a drop back team on early downs. And if you can do that, you can get them kind of outside of the element or the comfort zone of where they want to be. But that's a lot easier said than done. Like I said, Sark on the flip side is arguably one of the top 3, 5, the best play caller in college football. So this is not just a good team from a talent perspective. This is a good team that's well coached on both sides of the ball, and you're not just going to be able to win every snap and get into really, really positive calls all game. They're going to have advantage calls. We're going to have advantage calls, and it's going to come down to the guys in the field and winning the margins.
So quickly, is this a real David and Goliath kind of matchup for you guys?
No, I wouldn't say that. I would say this is a really good football team that was predicted to win a national championship versus the Big 12 champions. And I'm excited to see our guys go out there and compete.
Michelle Gardner, Arizona Republic. Can you talk about the rest versus rust factor? And obviously, when you're playing well, you want to go out and play the next week, and you had all the momentum. Now you have to sit for 3 weeks.
Yeah, that is definitely, not playing a game for 3.5 weeks is definitely a challenge, especially because we were playing our best football the last 4 weeks of the season. I mean, the last 4 weeks of our season, other than 2 second halves of 2 games, we really just absolutely, dominated the end of the season, in my opinion, other than those halves where we kind of slipped. And to have a 3.5 week break is definitely challenging for us, not just from a rhythm perspective, but a conditioning level perspective. And then even for our vets, we haven't played in the fourth quarter with our starters, and it's going to be roughly 6 weeks when we kick off because they didn't the last 2 weeks of the season. And that's going to be, that combination is challenging. And but this team's overcome so much adversity this year. They kind of thrive off of overcoming challenges and playing teams on short weeks when they have bye weeks, and having to go on the road off of a team's bye week to one of the best teams in the conference. And we don't have a bye week. Like we've faced so many difficult challenges like that this year. It's just another one of them.
Tyler Bolden, 12 News. Coach, do you see, or what kind of similarities do you see with your program in Texas, considering the rebuilding factor? Because they, under Sark, the first year, had 5 wins before getting to where they are now, too.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a clear comparison there, to be honest. I'll say a similarity is we both recruit the state of Texas at a fairly high rate. To be honest, offensively, we're very similar. Schematically and defensively, other than the fact that they're a mixed front, odd and even, we're very similar defensively. So schematically, there's a lot of similarities. And then we recruit, heavily in the same state. I believe they were the Big 12 champions last year. So we're the Big 12 champions this year. That's a similarity. But in terms of the situations, when we both got the job, yeah, I don't know his situation other than the records and stuff like that. I just know he's done a great job. I think he's in year 4 now, and in year 4, I think he has his best football team that he's had, and he's got a national championship level team, and I'm excited to go play it.
Hey, Kenny Dillingham, Arizona Sports. Was just curious what you make of the dynamic between Wisner and Blue, specifically with that change of pace look favoring.
Yeah, you have kind of the thunder and lightning mantra. You have a guy who's going to run you over. He's still fast, so it's like thunder, lightning, and then like super lightning. But no, it's a good combination for them. Both those guys are NFL backs, And the offensive line does a really good job, including their tight end, in the wide zone game, creating creases. And all the motions and shifts, all it takes is one person. I mean, there was the big touchdown last week. Clemson's in bear, they run wide zone, and the left guard reaches the 3 technique, and it spits it for 70 yards on a touchdown. Nobody's going to talk about the left guard reaching the 3 technique, which was the difference in the game, right? Everybody's going to be like, oh, what a great run. But the left guard reached the 3 technique in bear, which caused a 70-yard play that completely changed the game when it was a 7-point game. And they just play really good team football, and they have explosive playmakers. If you get reached, if you're not in your gap, they're going to make you pay. And those are always the best teams in college football, the teams that make you pay for your mistakes, and this is the team that does that.
And quick follow, do you think in general that having a strength on offense will naturally make your defense better at dealing with it when it's a strength for other teams, the way, kind of a run game is a strength here for you guys?
100%. Usually your offense and defense, in my opinion, on good teams reflect each other. If you're a really good passing, like this team, they're one of the best passing offenses in the country. I think they're 17th in the country, and they're 2nd in the country in passing defense. Iron sharpens iron. So when you're really good at something, the other side of the ball should become better at that same something. And if you're really good at something else, the other side of the ball should become better at something else. As long as you're practicing versus each other and competing in all those environments. If you're a split kind of team guy where the offense goes over here and the defense goes over here, no correlation. But if you're a team like I know Coach Sarkisian is, which is a guy who has a football team, not an offense and a defense, but they go versus each other, they challenge each other, then you're definitely going to have the iron sharpens iron method there.
Michael and Julia?
Coach Michael Carrasino, Pitchfork Lunch. Just what were kind of overall thoughts, and then people had mixed reactions, but the atmospheres on the campuses. I mean, watching the Texas game, first round playoff games, what did you think of that?
Oh, it was unbelievable. It made me kind of jealous. I'm like, dang, I wish we could be playing right now, hosting one of these games. Because it's an experience that those guys who played in that round, who played in those home games, will never, ever, ever forget is the experience of playing in that home game in the playoffs, out on whether it was 12 degrees. I'm glad it wouldn't have been 12 degrees here. But, I had to go to the box. But, regardless, those guys are going to remember those moments. Those fans are going to remember those moments. And I know on a separate token, the economies of those cities. I mean, they made tons of money for the city and the place and the local businesses. So I definitely think I was definitely had a little envy sitting on the couch watching the game. I was like, dang, this would have been a really fun thing to be a part of, to be able to host one of these things. But, here we are.
And then just to follow up, you talked about obviously your team's competed and not paying attention to outside noise, but I mean, do you hear from the players that they're just kind of always sick and tired of being picked, as the longest shot?
I mean, it's happened all year, so I mean, maybe they're sick and tired of being sick and tired. I don't know, but it's part of it. It's part of it, and can you say they're right or they're wrong? I mean, it's not random people picking this; it's groups of people who are all in the same boat. So it's obviously there's some true statistics or facts behind why we're being picked that way. But I think that's what makes our guys special and unique. Is it's not there's the saying of it's not the strength of the wolf in the pack, but the pack of the wolf. Or I said that way wrong, but you guys all know that quote I'm talking about. It's the pack that is the strength, not just the wolf. And I think that's the definition of our team is that saying, wherever that saying is. Coach Regal says it. I'm not good with like green grass grows on brown grass grounds and like all that like word stuff. But no, it's so true. I mean, this is a true team, and we play our best as a football team, not as individuals. And I'm excited to go see what our guys can go do.
Julia, Adam, Jordan, Michelle.
All right, Coach. Julia Lopez from 3TV CBS 5. Just how are you approaching game week this week? Is it status quo? Or are you guys pushing it up a couple notches with what's on the line?
Yeah, status quo, but we have a few more days. So today we had a little meeting this morning. We'll come back for our normal walkthrough, which is a normal Monday. Tomorrow we'll have a normal Tuesday. It'll be a little more intense because we need to have a high intensity practice because we haven't hit a workload high enough because we haven't played the game in so long. So we'll have a really high intensity practice. Give the guys off Tuesday night if they want to travel home. Give the guys off Christmas. Give the guys off Thursday morning. Come back Thursday afternoon and kind of treat that like a Monday night, Monday walkthrough. Get a bonus Tuesday practice in, and then normal week. So we kind of have 2 bonus walkthroughs, 2 bonus practices, normal week from there with a little bit of a break in between.
Hey, Coach Adam Beetle, Mark. How elated have you been with the guys who have decided to return? Does that kind of make it a little easier going into the postseason, knowing that you just have a group of guys that are bought in?
Yeah, I think there's more guys. I mean, some guys post on social media, some guys keep things to themselves. It really doesn't matter to me. I think guys like to be here. I think they enjoy it. Is that to say that there could be a surprise? Who knows? I don't know about it. It'd be a surprise to me because everybody I think wants to be here. But in today's landscape of college football, you can't blame the kids. This is an adult problem that kids are participating in, and that's why everybody who leaves supportive of, everybody who stays supportive of. I just want what's best for the guys on our team, and let's take it one day at a time and see where we end up.
Jordan and Michelle. Hey, Kenny, have you had any interactions with Sark over the years, or really any of the Texas coaching staff?
I really have not. I don't know many people. Like, I really don't. I know, like, my little bubble of people. I'm a horrible networker. I don't really network. So, no. Like, there's just some, and ironically, there are some people that I know that we've played this year, but I really don't know, compared to other coaches, many people. I have my little bubble.
And then, does the team have any holiday plans for anybody not making the trip and staying in Tempe?
Yeah, we're going to kind of go through that as a leadership council here tonight. So they don't even know that yet. So there you go.
Michelle.
Kenny, you've got a lot of players on your, I think 6 that came from Texas or played in the Texas program, and a boatload of guys that are from the state. So have you gotten any kind of inkling from them how excited they are about this and what it means to them?
Yeah, I mean, if you're not equally as excited if you're from Texas or if you're from, I don't know, pick your state. Like, if you're not equally excited to play in the Peach Bowl with 8 teams left in college football, then we got a problem. There should be no more level of excitement for who we play. Like, this is an opportunity that some people dream their entire life to have. So I would hope our guys that, have that background, have the same exact excitement and passion and belief as Leaf does, as Ben Coleman does, as Coach Rouser does. So I would hope it's everybody focused on us being the best version of us and not, those distractions.
Anyone else?
I got one follow-up.
Go ahead.
Perfect.
Since nobody else. I wanted to ask, obviously there were a lot of lopsided games this week, and a lot has been mentioned about the Big 12. Do you guys feel any kind of pressure or just kind of wanting to represent the Big 12 to kind of combat all the negativity that the Big 12 has gotten all year?
No, I mean, I want to go be the best version of us. I mean, I wish, my brain thought like that. It doesn't. I just want to go be the very best version of us, play our best game we've played all year, take care of the football, win the middle 8, win the margins, stop them in the low red zone, get off the field on 4th downs. Like, I want to do all the things necessary to put yourself in position to win a football game, and then play as hard as you physically can for as long as you physically can. And if we do that, we're 6-1 in close games. Let's make this thing a close game, and let's compete for 60 minutes and see what happens.